pre-made tattoo stencils.
And these are things that you can easily order online, pretty much from anywhere. They're things that you can get from almost every professional makeup shop. And sometimes, I would even say some of your local Halloween or, you know, especially pop-up Halloween shops very well may have them as well.
Yeah.
Oh, and often you can find them at art supply stores if they do sell airbrushes. And most quality art supply stores will sell airbrush compressors and airbrush guns. So you're definitely going to be able to find the stencils there. But why be limited by what they do? Make your own. You can buy the piece of plastic for 98 cents at your own shop. Have fun.
This is a simple piece of lace, all right? Now, oftentimes when you're using things like this, it's actually good to have someone give you a hand because it's very hard to hold this tight against the skin and airbrush. So, Nathan,
so you want my help?
Yes, I would.
Would it be best for me to reach across so I have both sides?
Sure.
Or should I come? It's probably best in this respect to reach across. So forgive the reach. I'm going to reach across like this. Do you want it held firmly like that?
Mm-hmm. And then what you do is you just like you were using the other things, you come in and you literally just airbrush right over top. And what it'll do is it will actually start to create this pattern on the skin in reverse. Because you're basically, with the airbrush, you're filling in all the negative spots right now.
So the thicker the material in those areas, the less read of color you're going to get. All those areas of fineness in the material are where you're going to start to see the basis for what's going to be our new sort of lace-driven tattoo.
Yes. Now with any kind of a stencil, you want to be careful coming towards the edge. And when I use, we're going to do a pre-made tattoo stencil, I'm going to show you what a lot of people do. It's a big mistake. Remember, this is spraying all over the place. And even though I'm keeping a nice controlled area, you want to make sure you're not coming in with big sweepy motions, because what can happen is it will actually come out over the edge and you might not even notice it. And then when you pick the stencil up off the skin, you literally have lines from the makeup. So you always want to be very careful that you don't go outside of the stencil that you are using. And then when that gets removed, go ahead. Whoop. You have a perfect reverse stencil. Again, what you're seeing on this piece is the positive. You're basically spraying the negative right onto the skin.
It's pretty awesome. And there's so much small, fine detail in it. And these are the sort of things that in any sort of store that sells fabric, you can find a lace that has a little stretch to it.
I mean,
or you
it's
can find
unlimited.
a lace that doesn't even have stretch.
Absolutely, it's unlimited. If you're by yourself and you know you have to do something like this, possibly go out and see if you could find a pattern you need in maybe an actual stocking that you could just slide right up onto the arm and it would stay in place, and then you would only need one person. Some kind of a fishnet pattern.
So we're going to do a little quick fishnet pattern here to show one more technique within it. And then we're going to do one last thing with the stencils because I think it's very, very, very important. Now, fishnet patterns are things that get worked into avant-garde looks a lot, across the top of the face, into the cheek, things of that nature. So a fishnet pattern just gives that beautiful sort of texture to it. And the last thing that we're going to do, because it's very, very important, and it also shows you a mistake a lot of makeup artists make, we are going to do just an actual application from a pre-made tattoo.
Okay, but I'm going to do it the wrong way. A lot of people come in and they start airbrushing and they're like do-do-do-do-do, and they're going like this and this and this and this and this and this, coming all around these big sweepy motions. See this big sweeping motion? You don't want to do that. You want to come in very delicately right over the tattoo or the transfer itself. Because what happens is when you take that away, see this line? I went outside the stencil. And this is a very common mistake that many people that airbrush make when they're using stencils. You're trying to get this on the skin, but now you've got to correct that because I went outside of the actual stencil itself.
So it's all about the precision. Now we've shown you with a simple technique and a handful of things that you could grab probably from just about anywhere, how you can make some incredible magic, whether from a tattoo to an avant-garde look or a special effects look. All of these are usable, but they are only limited by the use of your own imagination. So have an enormous amount of fun.